It's time to start some more seeds. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It's time for us to start thinking about what flowers we're going to add to this year's garden, and that's what this entire video is all about. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are getting in the groove this year of all the different plants that we are going to grow. We've already started onion, we've started brassicas, we've started herbs. What else have we started? We started the Kim's Cozy Corner seeds as well, which is a little bit of everything, and some things are not really quite ready to start, but we started them anyway. In this video, we're going to talk about what flowers we're going to put into the garden this year. Now, y'all, I don't like to grow flowers. Let me be honest. I don't. Every time I try to grow a flower indoors, I kill it. I can't grow flowers. So I kind of gave up on it. But flowers are a very important part of the ecosystem of your garden. So you're growing all of this stuff with these amazing blooms that need pollinators. So you need to draw in those beneficial insects. And you also want to bring in those beneficial insects so it can kill the ones that you don't want in your garden. So it's part of that whole ecosystem. You need pollinators in your garden. And the best way to do that is to plant flowers. So you need to plant the type flowers that the little bees and the hummingbirds and the butterflies are going to love. So this year, well, typically I grow petunias. I've always grown petunias in the garden. They're the easiest thing to grow. I can get the seeds to grow, so it's super easy. I also grow coleus in my garden. Here's a picture of coleus if you don't know what I'm talking about. And they come in beautiful colors. But y'all, they really don't have that many blooms until they start going to seed. And when you let those coleus go to seeds, the little bees be buzzing all around them. That's typically what I grow in the garden. And that's really it. Well, this past season, I got my hands slapped for growing stuff and making the garden bigger and, all of that kind of stuff. And my mom bought a couple flats of seeds. And she bought impatiens. Now, I've had impatiens in the garden before, but I didn't realize just how well they did in my garden. I did begonias, or she bought begonias, impatiens, and I think and a couple other things. But those two did amazing in some of my 7-gallon pots that I used to grow potatoes in. Here's a few pictures of how well the garden did last year with those particular types of flowers. Now, I'm still going to grow the marigolds because the marigolds keep those unwanted critters away because of the pungent smell that they have. So I don't grow marigolds for the beauty. I grow them to keep those other critters away. But these flowers that I'm going to grow this year, the begonias and the what did I just say? Impatiens. We are actually growing them for the beauty and for bringing in the pollinators. And I had them scattered throughout the garden last year from the ones that my mom purchased. But my goal this year is to do a whole GreenStalk vertical planter with impatiens in it and have even more flowers strategically placed throughout the garden, especially in those areas where I need those pollinators. Let's talk about the growing habits and that kind of stuff. So for the two varieties that we're going to start today, I think it's just two. Three, because we're going to do the coleus too. So we're going to start coleus, begonias, and impatiens today. And the reason why we're starting them now, they have a super long time to get them big enough to go into the garden. They're all warm season crops. So if you're thinking warm versus cool, these are all warm season crops. The only flower I'm aware of that I can grow when it's cool outside are pansies. And I grew pansies last year from seed. I put them in the garden, and y'all, some of them lasted all season, but it was hit or miss. And they typically don't do well when it gets hot anyway, so I would be pulling them out and putting something else in. So I'm going to skip the pansy phase, and I'm going to jump right into my warm crops. But getting back to the impatiens and the begonias and the coleus, I want them to go out in the garden a nice size. I don't want teeny little plants going out when I put them out. And so we are going to start them now. Your soil needs to be at least 75 degrees before you put an impatient outside. And an impatient can have partial sun. Coleus can also be partial sun. So I put coleus around the front of my yard, in the front of my home, because it never gets much sun up there. So coleus is in the front, and then begonias and impatiens will be in the garden somewhere. Did I write it anywhere? Oh, I did take notes. I thought that I took notes. Whew, y'all, I did take notes. Impatient flowers. The soil needs to be 75 degrees and it needs light to grow. They will sprout in about 5 to 7 days. And it says that the soil needs to be sterile when you're trying to start impatiens. So I am using my seed starting mix for all of these, and I have sterilized the soil. And you're going to just press them lightly into soil, but we'll get back to that in a minute. And it's about 10 weeks before transplanting. For begonias, kind of the same thing. The soil can be just a little cooler, anywhere from 70 to 75 degrees. They do need light to germinate. It takes them a little longer to sprout. Your begonias can take 15 to 21 days to sprout, and that's a while. They need 12 weeks. That's the longest time frame of any of these three plants, is the begonias. And then we're going to do coleus, which is the third one. It's only 6 to 8 weeks before you put them outside, and they will germinate in soil that's 65 to 85 degrees. So once the coleus get done doing what it needs to do, y'all, I'm going to move them out into a greenhouse to get them out the way and let them continue to grow and get big and pretty. I can already have them planted in the pots sitting in the greenhouse, waiting for it to warm up to go completely into the garden. It's 12 to 21 days to sprout. I think that's it, y'all. That's really it. The most important thing right now for these three different types of flowers that we're going to start are all the pretty varieties that I plan on growing. So let's start with the begonias. For the begonias, I am growing two different types of begonias. I am growing a cocktail begonia mix, and here's a picture of it right here. It is a pelleted seeds. Pelleted seeds usually don't last as long as non-pelleted seeds. The germination drops down on those pretty fast. So we're going to grow a lot of them this year. So the cocktail mix is a little bit of everything from a color standpoint. These are shorter plants, right? They're not going to get huge. We're also going to do a white begonia, and here's a picture of it. And this one is called vodka. It is also pelleted. It says the vodka plant. Oh, there's some directions on this one. So they are dwarfed plants. Both of these are, actually. I know they are. The cocktail is dwarfed. They will only get between 8 and 12 inches in a mound, which is ideal for what I'm looking for. And that's how I grew them last year as well. They're great for pots, planters, flower beds, and baskets. This says start them 6 to 8 weeks before the final frost. It says that you can grow these indoors as well. Ooh, y'all. I might be adding this to my indoor GreenStalk that's in my dining room. 6 to 8 weeks before the final frost. That's what begonia is saying, but I got another note saying that it takes longer. So maybe the dwarf begonias are a little faster to germinate and get ready to go than a traditional height begonia. For impatiens, this is the one I'm super excited about, y'all. I'm super, super excited about the impatiens. We are going to do, well, all of the impatiens that I'm growing, they are dwarf varieties as well. These all came from True Leaf Market. All of the begonias and the impatiens came from True Leaf. I'm starting to really like that website. I haven't really grown a lot from them before. This year, I think I bought from them once last year. But this year, I played around on their website a little bit, and I shouldn't have been, because y'all know I got stuff I didn't mean to get. But anyway, for the impatiens, I'm going to do a mixture with all different colors. Here are pictures of the impatiens that I'm going to do. And it's just a random mix. These are called accent impatiens. They stay real short. And so they're dwarf varieties. They're going to stay short. They're not going to get tall. They're not going to shade any of my vegetables out, but they're going to do the job that I'm planning them to do. In addition to just the mixture, I'm also going to do a peppermint mix. So you see the pinks and the whites kind of going together there. Just trying something different, just trying to mix it up a little bit, y'all. And I'm also going to do just an orange, impatiens. And here's a picture of the orange as well. And I thought it was just different to find one solid color and just grow it all the way through somewhere. I don't know where, we'll figure it out. But I got 100 seeds of all three of these impatiens that we're going to grow. For the coleus, I have, actually, it's the same seed, y'all. It's the same seed. Coleus 6 to 8 weeks. I didn't even write coleus down. We'll come back to that. 6 to 8 weeks for your coleus. Y'all, there's nothing special about the coleus. Nothing at all. You can see here that I just got them from the grocery store, actually. I've been growing mixed colored coleus or rainbow coleus for years. Y'all, I ran out of seeds last year. Yeah, last year, and I bought a few. But I also harvested some in 2024. I harvested red coleus seeds from my plants and some green. And I'm going to try to plant a few of the red ones. I prefer the red over everything else anyway. So we will see what we get with the coleus. But I need to grow enough to plant all the way around my front yard. So wish me luck on that. So those are the three varieties. I need to get them. Oh, I did have it right here in my book. It was on here. I'm going to get them added to my garden journal, saying that I am starting them today. A few of you went out and you purchased the Seed Starting Journal. I hope you are enjoying the journal. There's still lots of opportunities of things that we can put into this journal in addition to the reference table and everything else that's in here. So again, it's a work in progress, and every year I add something else to it, and we will keep perfecting this journal. So I put down that we started those seeds today in the journal. Now, y'all, it's time for us to just get started. Now, all of these seeds, we're going to plant them the exact same way. We are going to press them into the soil. We are not going to cover them, I don't think. Let me check the coleus again. It says so shallowly. Okay, so I know I don't need to really cover anything up. And so we're going to get these things going. So I got my begonias here. I got my coleus. Where's my other coleus? Oh, here are my coleus right here. And I already got my name tags made up, y'all. Here it is. And I was supposed to do this days ago, y'all. I mean, many days ago at this point. Y'all, there's only so much you can do with the time you have. As, let me see, what's her name? Becky over at Acre Homestead. She says you need to give yourself grace. So that's what we're doing, y'all. We're giving ourselves grace. So we will start with whatever's in front of me here. Let's do the begonias first. Y'all, these seeds are so small. They are so small. And so getting them pelleted is really the way to go. Like, I don't know if you can see this, y'all. Can y'all see that? Y'all, there are 500 seeds in that little bitty container. 500. Oh, they small, y'all. They are really small. Y'all gonna have to wish me luck on trying to get these seeds in these containers. Ooh-wee. All right, what do I have before I get started and I mess up? We will densely spread the seeds out in here. They will be nicely packed, densely spread. And then once they germinate and they get big enough, we're going to transplant them into individual containers. I guess I'll start this way. This is the cocktail mix begonia cocktail. I don't know if you can see this or not, but oops, one seed bit the dust already. It didn't fall where it was supposed to. All right, I'm going to stop there for now. Oh, and there's no writing on this little container, so I cannot let it come out of its little home or I am going to be lost forever. I don't know how well you can see it, but these teeny little seeds, they're yellow because they're pelleted, and I'm just going to press them lightly into the top of the soil. That's it. That's how we're going to start the begonia seeds. And that was the mix, not the vodka, if I remember correctly. Just patting them in. Again, I had to rehydrate the soil because I waited too long to do this. What's new? This one only got 50 seeds and it looked like 5 seeds. We're going to pour all 50 in there, y'all. Y'all, that sure didn't feel like no 50 seeds. But they in there. It's in there. It is what it is. That's all we got. And that pack is empty. Let's go ahead and press them down. Each and every one of these flowers did call for seed starting mix. So they don't want you to have any kind of super heavy soil. And a couple of them even called for sterilized mix. So just read your seed pack. It'll tell you how to do it. I like to go online. I like to research stuff. I know I'm weird like that, but I like to do some researching and figure things out and look at what everybody's saying and try to take best practices from everybody. That's why I have note pages and everything else. I want to make it as easy as possible for someone else who might not know. Oh, y'all. Well, these impatient seeds are dust. I'm just telling you right now, it's dust, y'all. If I breathe too hard, they're going to blow away. They're tiny. It's dust. I can't even show you the seed. And there's supposed to be 100 seeds in there. I need every one of them seeds because it looks like 50 seeds. I don't want to lose them. If I can come in close, I will. But that's dust. And this is orange. And it's supposed to be 100 seeds. I had 2 containers for them. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the 2 containers. And I'm going to try to put half in one and half in the other. And then I'm going to take the pack and I'm going to shake it to get that very last seed out. All right. So that's the orange impatiens, all 100 seeds of them. Now these are not pelleted. So you're just getting the seed itself. It says they're super easy to grow. I really hope that they are. But I think Coleus is smaller. If I remember correctly, Coleus is going to be even smaller. This is the peppermint. I'm going to use the same process. And I'm going to do this for all the seeds, y'all. I will show you the Coleus seeds. You get the idea. You see what I'm doing. Y'all going to have to come out of there. I need all of you. Okay. So for the Coleus, I am doing one rainbow and one that's just red. So the just red are my seeds. And y'all, I got the seeds. I got the hole that's around the seed. I got a lot of stuff mixed in when I harvested those seeds. A lot of stuff mixed in. So the little paper that's on the top, that's what the seed was inside. I just pulled that and everything else off of the plant. But there are seeds in there somewhere. I see they're little bitty, teeny little bitty granular seeds is what it is. But I know they're mixed in with that paper looking stuff. So I'm putting the paper looking stuff. Uh-oh, I probably put some over there too. That was an accident. I know they're in there. I probably just put 100 of them in there. And it said to lightly cover. So y'all, I lightly covered those seeds with the little paper hole that they were in. There we go. That's how I did it. They only need 6 to 8 weeks, so they don't need that much time. So let me also show you what they look like if you buy them out of the store. They look like celery seeds, you know, they super, super tiny, or brassica seeds, but like a tenth of the size of a brassica seed. They're super tiny. So let's get these in here. And I absolutely need these to germinate. I am not covering them up. Not these anyway. And these I'm not covering up either. Well, if you call that husk covering it up. That's all they're getting. And I know there's some seeds under there. I saw them falling. So there they are. They've already been watered from the bottom. Actually, they're still soaking water up from the bottom. But with all of my seeds, you know what I like to do? I like to spray the top. Anytime I start seeds, we're going to do the same thing here. And since I press these in, they shouldn't be flying all over the place with the squirt of water hits it. Shouldn't be. But you never know. I might have a seed in the wrong spot when this is all over, said and done. All right, y'all, our first seeds are in. Now, these are not our only seeds. When we get closer, 4 to 6 weeks or so before we're going to be transplanting outside, we will also start our zinnias and we will start our marigolds. And there might be 1 or 2 other plants out there that we'll be starting at that time. But that's it for today. These are the ones that need a little extra love and attention compared to some of those other ones. So we wanted to give them a jump start, see how they're going to do, baby over them and pamper them just a little bit. And if it don't work, we'll plant some more seeds and do some more. But these are the little seeds that we're starting today. And now we're going to move them over into the grow tent. It says that they need light. But after they germinate, they do need some darkness. So they don't need to be in light 24 hours out the day. They need, so many hours of light, and then they need so many hours of darkness. So put your stuff on a timer or turn them on when you get up in the morning and turn them off before you go to bed. But make sure they get some quiet, dark time to sleep as well. So that's it for today. Let me move these over into the grow tent and think about what else we can do together. So until next time, and I hope there'll be a next time that you hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Talk to you again real soon. Bye.